Welcome to Monday Morning Dharma on April 13th. Thank you very much for being here. Let's go ahead and start with some meditation. Please settle into a comfortable meditation posture. Still mountain, silent mountain, ancient mountain, awakened mountain. Please gently transition into meditation on the inner body. Please become the silent observer of sensations. No analysis is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. Just be the silent observer of these sensations and allow a natural, awakened awareness to emerge. This morning's Lamrim meditation is on the dangers of lower rebirth. At present, in this human form, this human experience, we have complete freedom. We have the freedom to choose to do whatever we'd like with this human birth, this human experience. We can apply ourselves to amassing wealth, to following spiritual paths. Really, we can apply ourselves to whatever we wish. This freedom is very rare, very special. Beings in the so-called lower realms, such as hungry ghosts and animals, do not enjoy this freedom. Animals have three primary concerns: eat, keep from being eaten, and procreate. These three pursuits occupy the overwhelming majority of the attention of animals. Furthermore, these pursuits are instinctive. Animals do not consciously make the decision to engage in these activities. The lack of freedom of beings in the hungry ghost realm are even more limited. It is said that hungry ghosts have a stomach the size of an ocean and a mouth the size of a pinhole. They are never satisfied, experiencing intense, unimaginable craving with no means of satisfying those cravings. There is no guarantee that our next rebirth will be as a human with the freedoms of a human rebirth. There is no guarantee that another human rebirth awaits us. It could be that the karma that ripens at the time of our death could throw us into an animal rebirth or a rebirth of a hungry ghost or a being that has a hellish experience. The object of this Lamrim meditation is of fear of a potential lower rebirth. Please rest with the feeling of fear over the potential of a lower rebirth while meditating on the inner body. Now, please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of your physical body and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the weight of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of your physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, becoming aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception soon come to enjoy a state of complete, perfect fearlessness. May all beings without exception be completely free from all other forms of emotional and physical suffering. May all beings without exception enjoy inner and outer freedom. May we enjoy inner and outer peace. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome back. So we are at what I think on the fourth Lam Rim meditation, and that is the fourth Lam Rim meditation is refuge practice, fourth or fifth. I should know what number we're on, but anyways, I'm sure it's refuge practice. And this has to do with this Lam Rim teaching. This Lam Rim meditation has to do with taking refuge in the three jewels of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And one of the beautiful things about the Lam Rims are that they're standalone and they're also sequential. One could meditate for the rest of one's life on our precious human life. Yeah, how precious and rare it is. And one can also meditate on these Lam Rims sequentially. Um, there is our precious human life. There is dangers of lower rebirth, all leading to um, all leading to the decision to take refuge practice, the decision to use our human life to take refuge and gain protection from the fears of lower rebirth, death and impermanence, to attain the deathless state. What exactly that means, we'll get to a little bit later. But I'm going to go off script a little bit from the Lamb Rims and tell you that Friday was my birthday. Friday was my birthday. And it was my 65th birthday, which means I went on Medicare. I went on Medicare on April 1st. I'm not going to go much further off script than that, but suffice it to say that the fact that I'm on Medicare has made an impact on my mind. I want to ask you guys, you Zoomers, people in person, attending here at Lotus Center, those of you who take in this class after the fact via the recording on YouTube, I want to make a belated birthday present request, yeah, to each of you. It's your choice because you have freedom with your human rebirth, but I want to a very meaningful, special present that you could give is for you to establish a consistent practice, a consistent practice. And the good news is that there are two forms, two different types of practice that if you choose to make a birthday present offering, there are two choices. One is to establish a consistent study practice, study of Dharma. Maybe that's every day. Maybe it's close to every day. Consistent. The word consistent is a subjective term, but yeah, study a Dharma text or texts. Get into the practice. And the good news is, you guys, is that there are so many different types of Dharma texts out there which can positively impact your life and your overall Dharma practice. Biographies are great. I love biographies, and there are a ton of them out there. The biography of Milarepa, biography of more contemporary practitioners, Pema Chodron, perhaps, Tenzin Palmo, A Cave in the Snow, a Buddhist nun, British Buddhist nun, Alan Watts. I think Alan Watts qualifies as a biographer. There are other types, The Power of Now, any one of Geshe Kelsang's texts. And noteworthy, I think, is that Geshe Kelsang's texts are incredibly valuable, and they're kind of unique in that I sort of regard all of his texts really as being almost reference guides, reference manuals, like very clear, very precise explanations on step-by-step explanations on how to practice Dharma. And there's a place for texts like that, and extraordinarily valuable. Everything I know about practice, I learned from Geshe-la's texts. And, it's nice to flavor those texts with different ways of different presentations of the Dharma. Thich Nhat Hanh, for example, takes a very different approach to presenting Dharma than Geshe Kelsang does. Um, like I say, biographies, Norman Fisher provides a beautiful presentation of the Dharma, a Zen, contemporary Zen practitioner. When You Greet Me, I Bow is one of my favorite texts. Anyways, if you need any suggestions about what text you can start reading as part of your establishing a consistent practice of studying, let me know. And I think I could probably make some recommendations. Option B, to the extent that you haven't already done so, is to establish a consistent meditation practice, of course. And then option C is both A and B. Yeah, that's the ideal. But if sort of studying and having a consistent study practice and a consistent meditation practice is too much, pick one. Yeah, and I would appeal to you to have fun with it. My my model, my personal model is, unfortunately, I'm an early riser, and I study a Dharma text every morning while I have my tea. Yeah, just me and my cat and my dog and a Dharma text. Yeah, and tea. Um, but figure out what, maybe in the garden, maybe you have a garden, which is a peaceful place for you to study and maybe sit in meditation practice. Here's a text I'm reading now, just started reading, called The Heart of the World. A Journey to Tibet's Lost Paradise. And I don't have time to get into what the book is about. I'm just kind of getting into it myself, so I'm not really in a position to say what it's about. But I wanted to read an excerpt from what I read this morning by Milarepa. In this book, by the way, Ian Baker, The Heart of the World, it's called. Milarepa says, the nature of mind is emptiness and luminosity, inseparably conjoined, spontaneously merging with that original state. I am indifferent to experiences of good and bad. With mind free and effortless, I rest in happiness and joy. Where subject and object are realized as a single sphere, happiness and sorrow mingle as one. Whatever circumstances I encounter, I'm free in the blissful realm of self-awakening wisdom. So beautiful. You know, saying just a little bit more about meditation practice. The author of this book talks about him going to Nepal, going on to retreat under the oversight of a meditation master who sends him to a cave for a month. This is a contemporary story, okay? Sends him to a cave for a month to meditate 4 times a day, 3-hour sessions, 4 3-hour sessions every day. 4 times 3 is 12. Yeah, 12 hours of meditation a day for a month, this person's practice. And when we think about our own meditation practice, we may think 12 hours a day would be torture. Absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible because it would be just too much. It would be too much. I can't even conceive of meditating that much. How did Milarepa do it? Milarepa ate and meditated. And that was it. I guess he slept maybe sometimes um, just enough to nourish the physical form. But we look at that and say, how is it that they do that or did that? Whether it's 12 hours or like 2 hours a day for some of us. I think it's beneficial for us to recognize that our mind, the state of our mind right now, isn't the same state of Milarepa's mind. Milarepa goes into meditation, and the state of his consciousness is such that it's a blissful experience, right? It's bliss. There's nothing more blissful and tranquil and enriching and nourishing for someone like Milarepa to rest in that state of consciousness. Like take what is like your most blissful sense pleasure, whatever that might be, the most satisfying, gratifying, peaceful, and just magnify that by infinity. And that's what our state of consciousness can get. And that's why meditation can become so gratifying, can be so peaceful and so accessible. Our mind might not be there at this point, but if we do practice, if we do take refuge practice, then our mind can be like that too. Bliss and luminosity, as vast as space, inseparable from space, spacious clarity. This is what we can get to by training our mind in meditation. It will take time, but just my appeal to you this morning is to give yourself permission to imagine what it would be like, not to meditate 12 hours a day, but to have a mind that is conducive to being able to meditate in a state of spacious clarity and luminosity, bliss and emptiness. That becomes our refuge. Our mind becomes our refuge, not things of the world. So I've got a little list of things here that I wanted to talk about, and I covered exactly one thing. So um, just before we break, I wanted to tell you that Saturday is Give Grandly. Give Grandly, a day of community-wide giving to the nonprofit charities in our community. Lotus Center is one of those. Give Grandly is one of the two main fundraising events that Lotus Center undertakes. And I hope you'll consider making a donation to Lotus Center as part of Give Grandly. Um, I'm an employee of Lotus Center, and Lotus Center pays my salary. And if I didn't have Lotus Center paying my salary, I'd have to get a job somewhere else, which probably means I wouldn't be able to teach meditation 5 mornings a week as I do or lead meditation. So there's that. But there's just more. I feel like Lotus Center in its 11 years has kind of become a valuable asset to the community just by being here. Just somebody said to me the other day, I can't imagine Lotus Center not being here. Um, that's that's a good thing. And we also have some really special community service programs that we offer: yoga in public schools, meditation in public schools, nonviolent communication, caregiver support group, different community service programs. So if you are in a position to donate to Lotus Center through Give Grandly or any other means, no matter the amount, um, on behalf of everybody who makes Lotus Center go, that would be very much appreciated. So I'll try to get to the other 3 or 4 things on my list at Friday's class. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Jeff.